strong team. Something you're going to have to think about as they try to make their way here into the A site. Drone leads forward as well as the Asher utility trying to get in here. They're actually trying to threaten Sick a little bit up top, but they're not looking at the man below. That's Ban and company just getting all kinds of entries.
Yeah, the entry from Ban was near flawless just before the fragment comes through, and then the final shot will also connect, leaving Shazam for a 1v4. Obviously not a situation you're going to be feeling all that favorable about, but see if you can at least make it somewhat interesting. Either it's off of kills from exits, or maybe just information as he tries to make a play for a retake. And as he gets the first point of contact versus Ban, nothing there. Yeah, good information for Shazam, just kind of peeking the corner, finding some damage, and then backing away. That will force a couple of defenders to start to rotate. Ziff up top, and to get the wall for a bit of high ground, and Ban once again just dashing forward, able to at least retrieve one rifle after the first hill comes out, but can't make any use of it. So now Shazam is kind of stuck behind this slow orb inside arches. Good isolation for the Knights as they make their way on, should lead to a spike plant.
Yeah, and that's one of the things Knights are known for on this map is these bursty plays with the stage boost through window with the barrier. And now it's going to force Sentinels to have to play a retake here. Ten's able to get it back into a 3 versus 3, and they do have a lot of utility and the superior firepower. They also have Frosty down very low on HP, which definitely still a way in.
Well, it's going to be a stack from the staircase, spamming things down. Ziff only able to collect one. Frosty still staying concealed by the double boxes, though close. Now here's the reload, makes his position known, and capitalizes quickly for the double.
Try to disrupt them a little bit. Don't let them get comfortable in one of these lobby areas. Try to get an early pick, and well, there you go. Ten's out middle. It's going to burn that res early, but the re-peek is punished.
Oh, and I love the cross angle from Gangsta, just knowing, okay, well, if there's going to be some threat here, the Knights.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if Knights are going to go for that same boost play with the barrier through the windows that they're known for on their stage. But they're just going to try to get in here quick. And yeah, they're getting in here. They're closing out market with utility. They're trying to get the switch, but Dapper's Nano Swarm stops him from getting that door closed early and gets a kill back. And he's in this double stack corner. Will they check him? There's also Odin in the back of the site.
Ban's able to take down one. Off the plant, though. Dapper, 1v1, sees the shoulder of Ban, takes the peek, finds the fourth. 1v1 now with Ziff on the site. Gets the information. You can't hide that ponytail. But Ziff will back away just for a small moment. Zoms has made his way on towards site, and Ziff may not know this, but maybe a chance to isolate. No! Sentinels, largely, it's a 2v5 on site. But, you know, observers are really catching this nicely. The ability that Dapper brings is not just his individual clutch, but his different looks setup-wise have been really, really cool. This time, a lot of that being stacked up towards tree. And as the lockdowns create a bit of a Venn diagram through mid, here comes the hit. Ban has to actually push through all of that utility from the placement of Dapper in. Well, they do get their way onto site, but it's not what I would call clean. And Dapper reveals his position up time for another double, and then just toying with this food. Ziff, nowhere to go. And Dapper, hold out, blocks off this play through heaven. Nebula gravity wells also being placed on both sides of this attack. 15 seconds to go. Six still holding close, though. Doesn't just get one, gets so much damage through some collided shots. Now down to 10 seconds as Frosty eventually gets the trade. Spike trying to be planted. 6 seconds on the clock, and Sentinels are going to allow this to happen as they set up for a retake.
They're fine with that, though. They got Sick a 2-for-1 trade to give them man advantage on this retake now. That's brilliant from Sentinel's side of things. Now they just need to capitalize, and well, that's a good start in the right direction.
Defensive Cosmic Divide blocks off A main. Frosty down low. Sees Ten's cross, but there's really nothing that he can do from there. The health pool's just way too low.
It's pressured them.
And the flash will again delay any inevitable hit that's coming through. Even sends out the null command just in case, but Knights are waiting a little bit longer. Defensive lockdown will be placed as a counter. One player detained off the offense, but nothing really defined there, as that was Sick, who was put in detainment, and now he's recovered. 12 seconds on the clock. You've got to make a move. You got to go quickly. Sick is still in a position to watch a lot of this cross, but Ban is able to help out. 2 kills coming through, but time is the biggest problem here. Spike's starting to be planted, and the kills will come through before the spike plant is even necessary. Or really not be a part of the equation for Sentinels in some time. Shiri out. Sick. Flashy gets so much value off the pop flash, but can only collect a single kill through mid. Quickly, Scuba says time for the Cosmic Divide as the spike starts to rotate back through mid, maybe with a chance to get over towards tree. Defensively, it's a 2-1 split here, though, for Sentinels. The 2 defensive members are leaning towards A, so a chance to fight this back, but it would be a 2v4 on site, and Zoms is going to commit forward through this Cosmic Divide, waiting to see if anyone's going to come out. And Shazam over the backside through tree actually is able to collect another elimination, so this is actually very doable, especially with the chip damage that comes through, but Ban makes the numbers advantage that steeper. It'll be now a 3v1. Scuba will tally up the final onto Shazam here, leaving just Dapper on this recollection through mid.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Ban and Gangsta are low on health, so it's not impossible for Dapper, but with no information, It's going to be tough. They're playing 2 under and Scuba playing on. A little bit of a headshot angle, and he gets the kill. 7 attacking rounds. So it's 6, not too shabby. We'll see what they can do here defensively on this very crazy split here from Sentinels, and it's a rapid one. They've already found a lot of space on B.
However, Frosty, the Nanoswarms will give a little bit of time and space to work with while the defense starts to rotate, and they're doing it kind of in a split fashion. You got a flank from either side coming through, so Sentinels, you need to win from the front or delay these flanks from happening, and they're kind of winning the war on both fronts at the moment, as kills will be collected very rapidly, leaving Scuba left alone through B main, and 3 different Sentinels members looking right at him. There's the suppression, Dapper on the peak behind it. It contends underneath half HP. Scuba, Nebula up. Sees the shots coming through. Actually, he's taking so much damage right now, but just wants to deny the spike from getting forward. 10 seconds on the clock. Sick trying to play from topside heaven, finds himself a rifle to work with. 0 point comes through, but again, the spike is still not on site, and that will be likely it unless they can find this kill on a Frosty, who is very avidly aware that there is not enough time for a plant, and the Red Bull clutch will be given to the Knights as they do take the third.
It's what he allows. He can bring this really unique individual play that can be so impactful, but that's a great trade back, a great little double peek there from Knights at Market. Sick, though, able to get the exchange. Now they're putting that pressure on A. They have pushed Ziff way back on tree. They're going to get access to A site. It's going to force a retake out of Knights. A man down. So this is a big move from Sentinels to get the spike down on site.
Ziff and Gangster were the only 2 players to not get into full ARs this round. Still just the Sheriff for Ziff. Nanoswarm to clear off this initial cover towards Heaven. Dapper still holding on to site. Support from Sick, a lot of utility to spend here, but Frosty, as there is a reveal onto Zombs, they do collect at least 1 elimination. Dapper's position now revealed. The biggest issue largely is Shazam from this advanced angle, but how about it? Gangsta's actually able to not just take him down, but actually finds the 3rd in the round, leading it to a 1v1. Ziff does collect a rifle. So an even battle, largely speaking, but Sick holds it tight, wins the 1v1, and Sentinels take their 9th. Null Command comes out, Hunter's Fury to follow, and Scuba gets dealt with by a Nanoswarm. That is unfortunate to say the least, but there's at least a couple of counter trades to come through for the Knights. One of them being on towards Sick, but it's a very easy resurrection in the position that he had fallen. Yep. So we get to a 4v3, the cross being watched by Gangsta, but Sentinels, largely with all these smokes, will get on.
Yeah, I think that's the most important point. A Sick died in a place where he could be easily res. A lot of times that you know, KO might be in a tough spot, but look at this. Knight's fighting back all of a sudden. Spike has yet to even go down, and this is getting tough now on Sentinels. They're going to try to plant back Generator. It's just Zombs and Shazam up. Now, Frosty is low on HP, and yeah, like you said, that lockdown is going to force them into known post-plant positions, but Shazam breaks it. But now he's all alone.
The problem is he loses his teammate. 1v3. Everybody knows where Shazam is. Shock Dart does connect for a little bit. Able to get 1, but nothing more. Ziff very wisely steps off the initial toggle for the defuse to help his low HP teammate in Frosty. Going to be at least lurked through mid with that recon dart coming out for Knights. And they are going to move pretty darn quickly here. But it's Ban who's able to find the first headshot. That will completely stop Sentinels in their track. And Ban, I think he's very really understanding that there's more players that are here. But Sick does at least find 1 trade. But it's a 2-for-1 overall off of what is essentially a free economy play from Ban. Good stuff from the Knights defensively.
So brilliant. So brilliant how he chased down that recon ball and got basically a free frag, which is Shazam making some headway onto this B site. Might be able to save the day here. Looking for another. Gets it onto Gangsta. That's massive. Scuba does fight back, but it's an even 2-on-2, and they have site control now for Sentinels and time.
0 point will be able to scout out the playthrough market. Alarm bot trying to keep the backside staircase safe. But Scuba, do you use, and how would you use this Cosmic Divide to potentially retake this site? No other utility remaining here for Sentinels. They deal with the alarm bot. Time's starting to become a bit more of a problem. Sick trying to take an off angle, denied. Leaving it to Dapper, 1v2. Gets the opportunity for the first, collects it, and does it very cleanly! It's Dapper for the double! A 1v2 and a Red Bull clutch for Sentinels!
And though to clear out the bulk of A site, Drone makes a little bit of progress on site as well. But look at this, Scuba able to get back in. I think he might get attacked by the 0 point, though. Dodges it.
Does get hit heavily by the Nanoswarm to follow. Doesn't make a difference. Scuba at least is able to take down 1 with his life. Lockdown now fades. Spike being planted. The Cosmic Divide shortly to evade also from this position through the long side at A. Recon bolt denied. Bando on the way in. Ziff up top, good for the first. Can Sentinels hold this as a 2v3 on towards site? Shazam collects a headshot, but cannot firm the kill.
Gangsta gets a good recon bolt out,
Oh my
gets
gosh.
so much intel off the back of that as well. Maybe some chip damage as well here with shock darts coming in. Sentinels are getting absolutely halted. Nano Swarm stalling them out as well. They're able to get out onto Switch, but there's still a man down. Sick has been whittled to such low HP. It's going to be such a tough breakthrough that he has to try to do now, and he's down.
Nothing there, but Shazam at least confirms one trade. Sentinels jumping down together, spamming through the nebula. Take a second with them. Ban up top, not able to connect with the operator. 3v3 as Dapper plants. The retake still needed, but there's plenty of time to set this up if you're the Knights. Not a lot of tools to necessarily use here, outside of just the weaponry that you bring to the table. Zom's watching one side, Dapper the other. Shazam the last one that would peek. Here's Dapper, tested and eventually denied. Shazam following up. He would have to get the full ace, and he may just do it. No! Scuba shuts it down.
Knights. Sick again gets whittled down so low. Knights hold on the tree position. They're not even pushed off. Scuba still holds an advanced angle here. This is getting so dangerous. He's still standing tall. Finally cleared out by Dapper, but he's done so much damage.
Oh, and Ban does hold the angle. Spamming through the null command is Gangsta. This is a full buy, by the way, for Sentinels. They're going to have no economy going into the next round. Zoms, can you do anything? Not at all. Trying to get Sick back into the picture. Will not be allowed, as a full bodyguard line of Knights members will guard not just the res, but also the spike, leaving Shazam in a 1v3. Nothing there. And Knights up 12-11 on match point.
Cosmic Divide, though, counters them. It now
familiar.
stalls them out a bit. Yeah, absolutely. And it comes earlier. It's going to make it harder for them to get on this site with that lockdown. Finally, though, they press Ban off with that dart from the Owl Drone, and now they can get in. But Scuba still stands underneath this heaven area. He's been suppressed. I know he's there.
Shock Dart does at least connect. Spike planted. Knights taking their time with this. And they eventually do connect onto Scuba. Up top, the rest of the Knights are fully funneled. And look at the information off the dart! Resurrection will come through, but Tens wants to take the angle away. Finds another kill on a Frosty, earns the knives. Tens for a fourth. Could potentially go for the six-pack here. Has the next player up in Ban, but Ban denies. Knives of his own. 3v2 on this retake. Time becoming a problem. Shazam deep, able to find one more. Long range shot's not going to connect. 1v2. Not going to happen. Zoms, Sentinels, somehow they make their way through the round and send it to OT.
Here, that's already a threat itself that he exists on the server. So let's see if they can break through. There is that grav. That slows him down yet again. Now Shazam's in
25 seconds
position.
on the clock. Tens. Goodness, he's looking like Mel Gibson in The Patriot. He's just everywhere. He's on A, he's on B, he's back on A, he's back on B again. He's all over the place. The Owl Drone will scout this play out. Ban not safe, has to start to back away. Still wants one, he's able to take it, but there is a trade to come through as Tens is still pushing forward. Ziff on a cross on top of his own barrier orb could do nothing, and as Dapper takes down Gangsta, the numbers start to him out. Here comes the Flood. The only defensive player inside the site would be Frosty, and there's not a lot of utility for him on hand. He would have to get some help from Scuba, and he actually does get some assistance here. That'll slow down Sentinels a touch. Both Nanostorms will be popped, and we go to a 3v3. The take not yet here.
I'm a little surprised by that peek from Sick, honestly. Kind of gave the edge away. Now it's back even 3-on-3. Sentinels do still have some footholds, though, on this site. And now the info comes through with that blip on double stack box. But in the meantime, Ziff and Scuba also strike. It leaves Shazam alone. 1v2. He does have Spike. He's got time. He'll get the plant. But this is a tougher clutch for him to handle.
No utility. No recon bolt. Has to do this the old-fashioned way. He sees both. I'm sure the pleasantries exchanged were anything but pleasant, and Ziff will make sure this overtime continues, takes the 1v1 backside boat, and that will be enough. 4 Sentinels will be mitigated just by the route that's taken. So now Dapper, once again, from this position, would have to do something unbelievable, and they're not going to be able to. It's only a 1-for-2 trade. Tens quickly trying to rotate over, but they've already made their way through. Spike could be planted, and it will be. Gangsta now locking things down. It looks like Tens actually wants to try to contest this early. 0 point will come through. Imagining it will get a lot of suppression, if not information. But you got to find a way to still capitalize on this take. There's the flash. Tens now to peak. Takes the first. Looking for the double. It's Tens on 2. Last player left alive for the Knights is Frosty. It'd be a 1v3 for him. He gets the second. A 1v1. Bang! Frosty for 3. And it's the Knights that take the advantage in the second OT. Another different look this time as Ban has gone to the greedy buy of the operator, and it does pan out. Again, not the greatest dash in the world, but hey, he still gets out with his life. He'll get back to 100 HP off the healing orb and a numbers advantage as Knights try to get this overtime out of the way in their favor. 5v4 and the Owl Drone now used for Sentinels as they still look to try to put at least some pressure here today. The spike is not here though, Dust.
Yeah, they're just trying to at least get a little bit of presence inside A lobby, clear out Y, maybe get some vision on site. Looks like it is going to be a bit of a feint, though. They still have that spike, like you said, with 10s on the other side, but they're just getting crushed on all fronts. They're not getting any space, any entries, and they're all just spread thin now. And now they have to play a 3 versus 5 with virtually no intel. You know, they're all gathering up A lobby. They can try to burst in here, sure, but, I mean, they're just getting pummeled.
Yeah, you have to rely that Ban will miss a shot and you can immediately trade, and that is at least the initial call. The problem is Scuba is here to assist, and that may be enough as he's able to take down one more. 2v4 situation. Ziff over the middle of the map is going to be denied by the door, so he realizes, okay, let me see if I can break this as soon as humanly possible. Shock dart over the top brings Zoms down to 4 HP and also denies the plant. Now all the members of the Knights still here, 20 seconds on the clock. Zom's trying to plant for Shazam, who knows at this point that he's going to probably have to clutch from this backside A.
And Shazam could get flanked. He has no idea. This is so stressful.
Oh, and it's not clean. Not clean from Shazam. It's going to be Knights. 2 straight rounds off of an impressive 1v3 from Frosty. They get it done off of the opening first bloods.
Rate on both sides of the map. Then their only loss was 11-13 against Gen G. And they beat international competition on this map. You know, they beat the likes of Fnatic, New Turn, Team Liquid, and they've dominated North America on Bind. So they definitely come in as such a heavy favorite, and that's certainly a great way to prove that, just getting the initial entry right away over at Long B here. Also, they have Hookah control. They're setting up the speed split.
Gangsta's here trying to re-clear, though. There are a lot of members that are low HP for Sentinels, but this pinstripe kill feed will, in turn, lead to a 3v2 overall. Shazam still scouting things out. The spike is not making the move forward alongside Dapper. That'll be collected by 10s, and then an opportunity to plant will quickly follow.
Yeah, a little bit of a flank, though, coming off here from Ban. Maybe he can try to catch a timing on Shazam inside of Hookah position, try to unlock a way to retake. But as it stands, Sentinels have the 3-on-2, and Shazam's watching for the flank and capitalizes. And yeah, that is... yeah, this is still Sentinels being the kings. They're just going to burst through with that showstopper, looking for space. Sit gets the kill with the showstopper. Good catch from Ban, though, to lock down Octagon. Yeah, this is big. That's a big kill to get just to have... Oh, now it's gone. Well, short-lived.
Sick playing again forward, and the Nebula this time nobody expects it. Still surviving on low HP, takes another 2 with him, leaving Ziff for a 1v3, and he will not get the best of 10s. Was getting a bit curious on when that hit was going to come. Paint Shells was being held the entire time defensively, so Scuba now on site, trying to get a little bit of help from the guiding light, but it's Sick who's able to find one. 10s responds, blind showstopper to the Nebula defensively will find absolutely nothing. And now 10 starts to tee off just a touch. 4v2 situation. Spike gets planted, 10's on 3. And it all falls on to Gangsta, who can do nothing but fall to the rifle of Dapper.
Well, interesting.
Zom's completely caught off guard. That'll be good for a first blood. Dapper wants to try to take this back. Collects the first kill, but there'll be nothing more. That's going to be a weapon here for Frosty, most likely, if he does decide to push a little bit further forward. But Sentinels, recognizing this threat, have tracked back through the caves. And now can potentially recontest through Market.
Oh.
And oh no. It goes down. Scuba gets the informational read, and that will be good on elimination for Sick. This aggression from Knights working out nicely so far.
Yeah, it is. I just feel like Sentinels weren't checking a couple of key corners. Like, they really probably should have cleared out Hookah there with Sick when he was trying to backtrack. And now, yeah, they're just getting a wrench thrown in the middle of the things here. It's all on to Shazam. Just getting run through the blender. They have such good crossfires. He's able to start picking apart a couple of fights here, but just runs out of HP in the end. Scuba Hookah early and not losing anything along the way. It's kind of slowed down a lot of their B splits that they're used to being able to handle really well. And yeah, Ban gets out into open space with that guiding light and gets to kill the Shazam and gets away, but Sentinels are quick to react into Hookah to even it back up and get space on the site.
So it's going to be a retake here from the side of Knights as Ban is stuck by teleporter. Zoms will collect, and now it's a 3v2. Viper's Pit to make this post plant a little bit more safe. Owl Drone coming in will not really scout out too much. So it's Scuba from the back, Gangsta from the front. Some more utility to play with here for Gangsta. Could be valuable as he tries to clear out Cubby, no one home. Playing through Octagon still as Zoms to try to watch the opposite side of this flank, and Gangsta just spams through the Viper Spin and gets a headshot, so that makes things much more doable. But Scuba on the opposite side, he finds timing onto Zoms, just up to Dapper, 1v2. Gets the first through the backside of the Viper's Pit. Viper on Viper action. Scuba up top, nothing there. Dapper comes up clutch once again for the Red Bull clutch and the Sentinels win. First time we've seen them really work through showers for the Knights defense. Showstopper out, Sick in. Toxic screen over through U-Haul. They get full information onto Ziff, and space has been fully cleared. Blindly, the Showstopper near the end of its fuse will be thrown over towards Showers. Does not connect even for damage. And once again, Sick in a very advanced position. Denied as Scuba just runs and guns him from the corner. Ban on the flank. Gonna collect another. And then even behind that, there's Tens to try to challenge. Shazam will eventually get the trade, but it comes at a huge cost. 3v2 we go.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy here from Sentinels in the post plant, but Shazam at least reels it somewhat back into control, but they're still down a man. It's up to Zombs trying to halt this Lance push. He does get what he needs, and it sets up the 1v1 for Shazam against Frosty.
Oh, he gets
the info with the recon ball. He's trapped in the corner, however, that's the problem, and Frosty runs him down. And surely you knew that they were probably Showers, and you had to think that there was a short A flank as a threat, and they just weren't watching for it at the right time.
Yeah.
Also, I think maybe Sick went a little bit for too much there in the back halls. They just played the 5-on-4 more safe towards short A. Either way, neither here nor there. Now we see the big entry from Tins with daggers. Big one on to Ban, just showboating. Hookah, though, still controlled defensively, and I like this from Tins. Knowing that that's a chance, we'll get into back halls. This is a good maneuver to avoid that Hookah.
Oh, but the paint shells, they chip away at Zombs. I won't even say chip away. They take chunks of them. So he's down to half HP. The retake going to have to largely be through Hookahs. Both teams have just gone essentially haymaker after haymaker at one another in the opening 15 seconds of rounds. Boombot will go through. Ziff still has 2 blast packs to potentially take away space quickly if he wants to burst his way on towards site. Gangsta, no utility at the moment, neither does Scuba. So here they go. Tens reads the first, knives out, he collects. And the last one left is Scuba. Nothing he could do there. Too many members to deal with. Sentinels recover. Through this Nebula and Guiding Light, Ten still has an angle and punishes Ban, who was getting a little curious to see if anyone had slipped through that Guiding Light play. So now, I think chat starts to say 9-3 curse question mark. We'll find out. So far, though, for Sentinels, good stuff on this way through, even using the Hunter Siri to clear off backside of Elbow. Sick just making sure nobody gets into sight, and the spike gets planted. 5v2. Scuba from the back. He would have to do something unbelievable just to even create space for Ziff to work with. He's already being chewed up by shock darts. Yeah,
it's just Sentinels being so explosive, so reactionary off that
utility here, though.
Pick. Yeah, maybe, but they're still just so far behind, and all the angles are being covered. Ziff, though, gets a couple from Elbow. What's happened here? It's short-lived.
Yeah, that's fair.
Only like 50% of the rounds going their way when they've played attack, so they need to start hot. Threaten to come back. Good
information. Sick catches a shoulder, paint shells immediately as the response, and whoa, wait a second, backing through the Guiding Light was Ban, and that actually works out nicely because Zombs was completely deterred by the flash. Ban even finding more now with the frenzy, but Sick quick to recover the Lamp's position as Scuba gets the plant off, paint shells to flush him away, but that actually does more than that. It finds the kill, and now all of a sudden Sentinels left with 2. Yeah, it's true.
He's in the sewers. Anyway, we're going to get into Sentinel's attempt at a retake here. Staffer's going to catch Ziff with the frenzy, but they're still pretty far behind here. Promise it wasn't on purpose.
Let that one sit there.
Yeah.
Gravity Well will make life a bit difficult for Dapper. Tens at least finding one response kill, but time becoming a problem. He's going to have to try to hold for this eventually. Double swing comes through, and oh my goodness, nearly. Looks like they want to. Defensively, all this utility being spent, and that will slow things down just a touch.
Yep.
Here they come.
Grapple and Snakebite come in. Shock Dart clears under heaven, and it allows him to get out and to open the fight, but Dapper is just catching them all from Elbow with that Phantom, and Shazam will shore it up as well, leaving it down just to Ban.
Not a lot of an opportunity here. He knows obviously he's got pressure to his left, and then immediately more Sentinels members to deal with. Gets 2, not bad, but
are well rotated for this B attack.
Yeah. Well, Frosty's going to make their way over. They're actually not going to fully even bother trying to regrowth, and Sick is going to take down 2 just by way of the paint shells. Free utility, by the way. So as Ganks is able to take 1 in return, the second set of paint shells finds more. Sick almost acing with just 1 ability. Eventually, there is at least some eliminations to speak of for Knights. Shazam backing away, but cannot get out of the line of sight of Frosty, and it turns into a Frosty 1v3 in technicality. And he will not expect Zombs who lurk back in towards sight. Sentinels on 11. Frosty needs to read this. He needs to at least get this elimination, then come back to re-help over towards Shower side. And Tens has read this. They both chip away at each other as the take towards A is trying to come through. Sick even moving very quickly, but Frosty is given so much space. He does at least take down 1 with him. Tens able to get the trade, but as the spike gets planted, Dapper's going to use that as a chance to just mix the toxins. And that will lead to an opportunity to try to retake, and Dapper finding the 3rd elimination means it's all on to Scuba. Oh boy. This would be a very difficult 1v3, but both Viper's pit kind of intersecting means that decay will happen on both sides. Scuba holding in a corner. There's a good first elimination. Dapper toggles for the spike. Looking to re-change up where exactly he's positioned. He's found himself some actual time to work with here. Dapper's down to 1 HP off the decay. Shazam is not necessarily what I would call healthy, but Shazam takes away the back angle. Gets the confirmed trade. No 1v3 here. Sentinels will take map number 2, 13-5.
Is super strong. Also super strong on both sides of the map. Near 60% win rate on both attack and defense. Meanwhile, Knights, they struggle on attack on this map.
Well, here we go. Quick take already making its way through Garage as Sentinels will find the first blood. Zombs coming back up. The delayed peek happens through Long. Ziff is not able to respond to it, but there are a lot of low health pools. Maybe a chance to take a couple more with him, but
and other different types of compositions because he was so good at just pressuring A by himself in the classic way you're used to seeing on this map, you know, with the cage. They have not really been tested yet on this map, is my point.
You could even argue that when they were tested by decent teams, they got kind of blown out of the water in a way.
Yep.
But we get into this round. Defensively trying to hold strong is Scuba, but it's Sick who gets the double. Numbers good for Sentinel. Spike now making its way down. Ziff looking to possibly threaten early. It's a high stack here for Sick. The kill does come through, dashing away. And his ban will heal that up. Now it's on to the timing for Dapper. Shazam's going to back away, giving a little bit of space for these members to jump on into sight. And as they do, Shazam makes his move. Ziff looking to follow up, but there will be no chance as Shazam takes a double of his own and Sentinels take the bonus for their third.
There are 2 of them, but they're going to start paving the way forward with that Hunter's Fury. Ziff still hiding in the corner. Seekers come out, though, to allow them to get some intel. There are defenders towards Sewer's position, but knowing's half the battle. They need to get out the frags, and now they start flowing in.
Catch that, Frosty.
I have the spike.
Scuba, now the last one left, 1v2 situation. Cosmic Divide will fade as Scuba will have a chance to get in here. Actually slips through the star placement of Zombs. Had an opportunity for the 1v1, but Zombs.
So common on this map. He spots the alarm bot, shuts that down, takes out the turret as well, gets in, starts the plant, and we'll be able to do so safely.
I was going to say, the Nanostorm was never toggled. The Hunter's Fury comes through looking to maybe stack up some damage, but
nothing.
It's 10's already out. And so now the Cosmic Divide's going to come through trying to recontest this, but you still have shock darts available for Shazam. And you still have players that offensively are still contesting from the front side. Ziff, though, an unbelievable quick scope onto 10's for the first elimination. Gangsta looking to put some pressure on towards the defuse. Sentinels looking to check this. Flash comes out halfway on the lockdown, but here comes the follow-ups. 3v1. Sick last one left. Trying to hold in the backside of sight, but will not be allowed to. And well, Dust.
Look at how much space Sick already has towards a site. He's
Walks
gonna
into
walk
sight.
up.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because the Trailblazer went Sewers. He's just walking up. Oh, Ban, though, checks it. So good.
Good isolation to follow onto Dapper as well. So now it's on to 10's with this Blade Storm to jump on in. Updraft first and foremost. Band is just holding the same angle, though 10's not expecting that. Turns into a double for Band. Ziff now on the way forward. Good with the operator for 1. And Gangsta follows up beautifully.
Did again at Seaside. And they're going to chase him down with this Hunter's Fury, but good dash.
Oh, goodness. The updraft was not exactly perfect, but Scuba actually keeps things safe, and then Ziff turns the aim back over towards Garage Alley for a second. Dapper's still in the same position as Shazam is able to at least get 1 confirmed trade, but with this pressure, Dapper's got to go to the rendezvous and finds himself a free angle onto Ban, but Ziff still holding strong, denies Sentinel's intention, which was a push through C. Long, last peek, not gonna come through. Ziff for the triple, and Knights have all of a sudden strung together 3. Here, but all it really does is establish that the threat is 100% imminent. Ziff backed up, has to go to the Blades as he's caught on sight and revealed. Will drop. Scuba in the back corner, doesn't finish the second kill. Oh, he tried to transfer just a touch too early, and Sick will punish. Cosmic Divide coming through. Van and Frosty, the last 2 defenders left.
And that stun stops him from trying to punish around the wall before it finishes blooming. He now tries to stun and guy light himself in, does get the flash here, gets a kill, but Sentinels something in Sewer, so they decide to put that pressure on front B instead, kind of bypassing that. 10's with such a big kill on the Scuba. You thought that his days were numbered with that tag, but he's able to get away. Oh my goodness, pressure comes through long A from Ban, but now C site is free. And Dapper's cutting off the rotation at late. Oh, he gets caught though. What a shot from Ziff, and now a lockdown for the retake.
The fact that Ziff even expects that in the first place is unbelievable. Lockdown comes through, but it's immediately destroyed. Tens responds once again, playing aggressively through the defensive spawn. Frosty the next contestant, nothing there. And Sentinels finish the half 8-4 dust.
On this, with this Frenzy up close, maybe even good for a kill or two. As Tens actually picks one off as well at B, and now Shazam can strike, but he just misses everything, and now A site will be taken. Zombs, though, actually decides to come in and play with the Frenzy. Could he disrupt this?
Nanostorm pushes that one side, guiding light in the other, but Scuba takes the head right off of Zombs. And what a pistol this has been from Knights. All of the early pressure from Sentinels denied. Dapper has existed through the Nebula. Tens up top, a little bit of a fight coming through, but as Dapper falls, it's all up to Tens. What can you do? Tries to get rid of the sentry turret, a little more resilient than I thought he thought it was.
Yeah,
And yeah, everyone's just looking up, dude. Everyone's just, it's no way.
Yeah, bro, they're all stargazing down there. Just waiting for them to come out.
So the way, Zombs in actually a pretty considerable amount of trouble here. He gets pulled into the gravity well, gets darted, and that will be a weapon collected for 100% free. A bit surprising to say the least. The trademark was a mere inconvenience at worst, and that's going to lead to a spike plant.
Yeah, great shock dart comes in, but I mean, you wonder if it's really going to matter in the grand scheme of things. Already a man down. Knights has such good post plant positioning, but okay, look at this.
Clean coming through. Frosty going to be overwhelmed, and as Gangsta and Scuba will back up to play this a little bit differently. Tens is already sticking for the defuse. No one is quite able to get here to deny that halfway point, but as Scuba finds one, it allows a chance for Gangsta to try to swing. Regrowth coming through. Still plenty of time for Sentinels to keep playing around with this. There's the recon vault, but nothing to come afterward. Spike already diffused as Sick finds the final kill and Sentinels recover. Sentinels defensively zip down to low HP, and yeah, here we go.
This is scary. They might not check in. Oh! The guiding light plays bodyguard, and Frosty gets the kill.
There's no way, dude. How many pellets did that bird just eat for breakfast?
Oh my god, dude.
And Ziff is able to finally come through. He got regrowthed up, and Tens will fall. 5v3. Fan still playing a little bit of a gatekeep here through Garage. What has happened here? Sentinels, do you even try for this? Sika's going to try to flash forward, but he'll be denied as Ziff is able to get the wall bang, and Shazam has no option.
Let them know, okay, Sentinels are having to play a little bit of retake here, but now these counter shock darts are slowing down their progress onto A side, allowing Sentinels to get into better positions.
No way.
And look at this, Tens and Shazam clamp down. Tens over the top with the ult for the first, and Shazam chimes in as well. And oh, Ban gets caught also. No way.
Ban plays forward, trying to take away the link, and now all of a sudden Tens has the freedom to come back into sight. There's no way it happens that easily for Sentinels retake. I think it does too. Especially this last one that's still clearing out A long. Now Zombs in towards Garage. Good for one. Tens up top. The next one to be tested on this defense. And from the elevated position, he's able to burst right back away after his first elimination. Scuba trying to still work forward, but Knights are being picked apart. Oh no, Dapper on the way through gets more. Not a lot of time, and it's Dapper who just puts the nail in swiftly to the coffin.
And this is looking grim.
Flash through, but no challenge defensively, as Knights do continue to push their way through Link. Dapper already on, like you mentioned. Still have a number of defense members here for Sentinels, but it's going to be Ban and Scuba that take care of everybody, 2 apiece, and that's good for a plan, and likely with that, the round.
That's a bold win for Knights, you know, trying to come back into overtime from 5 rounds behind up against 4 defenders on site, and you mop them up pretty much in pristine fashion. Didn't really lose anything along the way, setting up Shazam in what should be an impossible 1v3.
I was going to go for it. He's full economy, so why not? Make something special happen. Show up on Reddit. We'll see. Sentry turret deleted. Shock dart will largely connect onto Frosty. Second one may actually finish him. He's down to about 1 HP. And Shazam does find
more of a C play. Trailblazer defensively is going to clear out middle and get a little bit of intel on this Garage push.
The Nebulas all encompass the choke points, but Sentinels are already, again, still inside Ziff. Huge first blood in this engagement towards Zombs. But Dapper, the double, but nothing behind it. Frosty confirms the sight. And with that, also the spike being planted. Tens and Shazam in a 2v2. The shock dart's chewing away a lot of the health so far, leaving Scuba a 1v2 to extend the map. Playing from Link. Tens over the top. Not gonna get the best of Shazam, though, in the first point of contact. and Sentinels will win 13-8 in 3 maps, 2 of which were very tight, but in the end, Sentinels just too good in their map pool.